Und wie ich schon mal meinte... Ich kann von hier aus nicht in den Reverie-Corridor rein. Ist das dein Ernst? Ich wollte eigentlich in den Reverie-Corridor rein, bevor ich jetzt in irgendeine oder nächste Route überhaupt erst anfange. Gut, dann gucken wir mal. Womit wollen wir als nächstes weitermachen? Wir könnten weiter dem nachgehen, was wir für Lapis brauchen, um die Erinnerung wieder zu erwecken. Und wir könnten uns angucken, was auf einmal aufhat mit Reen. Reen war ein bisschen weird. Und die SS hat auch ein neues Ziel haben. Dann haben wir auch noch so ein paar Leute, die ja noch wiederfinden müssen. Ich glaube, das größte Mysterium bis jetzt ist erstmal, ich denke mal, Reen. Und wir waren schon länger nicht mehr in Reen's Strat. Dementsprechend sprechen wir erstmal bei Reen rein. Das heißt, ich brauche den.
ああ、2年前の内戦時にもノルドの地に現れていたが、
ここ最近の霊脈異常に伴って再び出現したようでな。わらわたちもこれを使って駆けつけたというわけじゃ。
確かにこの付近ならクロスベルへの並列転移もできそうね。
そうか。どうかよろしくお願いする。この事件を本当に解決するためにも。
任せるがよい。
他のメンバーも各地の霊窟で合流できたみたい。いつでも行けるわよ。
これで新旧の7組が揃うのか。オリバルト殿下の結婚式以来ですね。
まあ他にも助っ人が来てくれるようだが、レーファス総統の登場を皮切りとする一連の不可解な事件。悲劇を繰り返さないためにも何としても食い止める必要があるだろう。行くとしよう。すべての手がかりが指し示す地、祝砲のクロスベルへ。
クアッドビアトレイ旅人、ファンタジーより尋ねられし小さき影。
デモンストラト、戯れる幻想郷への岐路を。
Und auch nach Crossbell we go. The previous day. Took over half a day for the Republican army to get the situation at the base under control and come towards aid. They claimed to have no idea why their tanks and airships had started acting on their own. They were also clearly finding it hard to believe that all of the weapons slated to be destroyed could have just disappeared. We owe the deep thanks for having to avoid the worst case scenario here. I admit, I never thought a day would come when I would feel gratitude towards the Ashen Chevalier. We're just glad that we were able to prevent the third party from igniting the flames of war over again. The third party, indeed. Understood. Our unit will be here shortly, it seems. We anticipate it will take several days to remove all of our weapons from the highlands, but it should prove doable. Until that is complete, our armies shall not interfere with one another in this region. Is this acceptable to you? Yes. We do all we can to make sure discussions between our governments go smoothly too. I certainly hope you succeed. I'm glad we could convince them to give us the benefit of the doubt. They clearly suspect the Erebonia involvement, but can't dismiss the idea that this really was the United Nations work either. Especially since they must know as well as we do that physically moving that many weapons in such a short time wouldn't be easy. I imagine they are still having trouble believing that His Highness the Prince was abducted too. I was surprised. I'm still having a hard time processing what happened, and we were directly involved. A sudden appearance of the white divine knight turned the situation in the Highlands on its head. In the end, it disappeared before anything could be ascertained about its origin or objectives. During the chaos, the device in the watchtower and on the giant statue, as well as the robotic Arios, vanished without a trace. This left us without so much as a single clue to work with. The cages 2 and Merkaba were also heavily damaged. Fortunately, there were no injuries among the crews of both ships, but it was clear neither would fly again anytime soon. Furthermore, we still had no idea where the Zenora's seashell was, and as a result remained unable to use the Round of 7. The United Nations also continued to block all communications, preventing us from learning about the situation there. Unfortunately, that left us in the dark as to the whereabouts and conditions of Alisa, Machias, and Tova. Situation might have calmed, but we still haven't truly resolved anything. Your assistance would be a boon to us. Not that I intend to sit on my hands either. I'll be thinking of a way forward. I will see that they reach the capital safely. I'll be counting on you to do what you can on your end. Got room for +1? I was dreading having to explain my way through the checkpoint. There's still a lot we needed to do in order to clear the chaos, but it was clear that sitting idly by was not an option. We knew we all needed to come together and plan our next move as soon as possible. That night in the settlement. You don't need to stare at me like I'm going to faint at any moment. I'm fine now, honestly. Your words, I'm fine, carry a little weight coming from you. Das ist sehr true, to be honest. Man kann Reen eigentlich nicht mehr glauben, wenn sagt, I'm fine. Couldn't agree more. You take our eyes off you just a little while and look what happens. I really think that you're blowing what happened out of proportion. We only worry because we care, Reen. I am genuinely grateful that you saved the lives of my family, I already am. But we want to know what happened to you too, so if you know, please tell us. Seeing your hair and one of your eyes change color like that reminded me of half a year ago. It made me think of how you looked when the curse had almost taken you over. Sorry, I really didn't want to worry you, but I swear that there's nothing wrong with me. I can't sense any curse hanging over me now. We're able to confirm from Aaron that the Great Twilight is completely over, so it should be impossible for what happened to Reen to be connected to it in any way, but... I like to believe that too, but what happened seemed to suggest otherwise. The changes in appearance are not the only unusual part of what happened either. You were able to summon a Panzersoldat from far away, were you not? Yeah, how do you even do that? It was one of the new ones from the branch campus hangar, right? Yeah, from the new generation developed by Makarov. They still haven't been formally deployed, but they are stronger than the current generation that's in use. The Tilfang S was specifically developed for Reen and tuned to him, but that alone does not explain what happened. Right, it's not meant to be able to teleport or cut railway gun shells in half. You'd normally only expect that kind of power from Divine Knights. I think the whole thing was BS if it wasn't coming from you. But speaking of Knights, what is about something that looked like one showing up? We are wondering the same thing. Hopefully we will know more when Rosalia and the others finish the investigation. Haven't you done anything? I have a question for you, kiddo. Did you feel anything unusual other than the changes in your body when you saw that white contraption? Now they mention it. What is it, instructor? Don't you dare try and keep any more secrets from us. I'm not going to. I'm just having trouble explaining what I felt in words. The second I saw it, all kinds of images and emotions came flooding into my head. All at once. I can't remember what specific images and emotions they were though. Really? I believe it was some kind of resonance phenomenon. You and that Ave Divine Knight resonated with one another. Wait, Divine Knight? You're convinced that it truly stands among their number then? What do you mean when you say that they resonated? When you mention it, the thing did seem interested in Reen somehow. It appeared immediately after Reen used its strange power too. Wait a second, none of this is making any sense. Yeah, you know as well as we do, it can be a genuine Divine Knight. Calm down, I know very well what you're saying. I know that there are only supposed to be 7 Divine Knights and that they have all vanished from this dimension. But the mana flowing throughout it and the marks it left in the spirit veins leave no room for doubt. I can hardly afford to ignore that coming from the editor of the Kind of Fire. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Unfortunately, I haven't a clue what caused the resonance to happen. Perhaps it's because you're a former Ragnar, or perhaps the cause lies elsewhere. But either way, this new Divine Knight will likely be our biggest clue yet in learning what we are facing. Das ist sehr true. Der Divine Knight ist eigentlich ein extrem krasser Clue. Since existence is even more of an impossibility than the advanced technology we've seen in the changes in Reen's body. Still having trouble processing all of this, if I'm honest. But I think I at least see what we need to be doing. Yeah, better to just do something than sit around worrying about it. We need to find the answers we seek, then bring all of this to an end. That is all there is to it. But grandmother, what brings you to Nord in the first place? We are fortunate that you are here, but I imagine your presence is no coincidence. Oh, I haven't explained yet, have I? I've been investigating something related to this case for a while now with a couple of helpers. I caught him here now.
セリーヌよ、ちょいとツァイトと来てくれんか。何よもう、しょうがないわね。
Selene in human form. Endlich mal wieder.
せっかく向こうで美味しいミルクをごちそうになってたのに。
There will be others. Still, I didn't know you were here in Nord. And in human form.
これも修行の一環なのよ。別になりたくてなってるわけじゃないんだからね。
I would have thought she'd be used to it by now, but seems not.
こうして話をするのは初めてだな。エレボニアの子らよ。
Zeit? I wasn't expecting to see you here. You must be the SSS Divine Wolf. You really can talk, huh? Yep, he can. Er ist auch nicht das einzigste Tier, was reden kann. Wir haben auch immer noch Ragnar. Thank you again for coming to our aid yesterday. We would have been in real trouble without you. The SSS told us about you. How you're a holy beast, charged with watching over Septurion the way Roselia was.
その通りだ。その使命自体、とうの昔に終わっているがな。だが、このゼムリアの地と無関係というわけではない。その意味で、黄昏前後の動向、特に霊脈の歪みは注視していたのだが。
I was under the impression that those distortions disappeared after the Twilight met its end. They did, for a while, but some time ago they returned once more. The reaction we sensed was strong enough to be called a singularity, but we were unable to piece together anything else. We have been combining our efforts to find out more ever since. And yesterday it finally decided to step into the spotlight for us. In other words, the singularity you're talking about is that Divine Knight? Indeed. We were to the scene and even we were shocked by what we saw. Unfortunately, we aren't entirely sure where it is now. But after your encounter, it appeared to set off in the direction of Crossbell. Well, what leads to Crossbell, it seems. The distortion first appeared in Crossbell too. Testimony from the 23rd Armored Division indicate that a vanished warship and railway guns were sent there too. That's also where the Supreme Leader first appeared to sow the seeds of a new war. I'm sure Lloyd and the others are doing their best over there, but they shouldn't need to face this alone. Yeah, I'm sure Lisa, Magias, and Tovas would appreciate our help too. You want to find out the truth and bring all of this to an end? I think we are going to have to go there ourselves. Cousin too? Can't turn a blind eye to this either. All of our work related to the coup d'etat and the abduction are now finished. Yep, now we can fully dedicate ourselves to this. Should finally all be able to gather in one place. Guess I can tag along. Thanks everyone, I didn't know what I'd do without you. This begs the question of how we are going to get into Crossbell though. True, the Armed Defense Force has the whole border fortified. You won't be able to rely on my Macarba or the Courageous Two for either. But given the current situation, we may have another option. Indeed. If the spirit rain stimulated, we should be able to own the spirit path. That is our best option, though it won't be easy to use that method to travel all the way to Crossbell. Indeed, the rains aren't as active as they were during the Great Twilight, and there were a lot of us. I think it will work if we teleport from different spirit shrines across the land. That will take some groundwork to pull off, but I can help out with that. Sounds like we have a plan. Really are fortunate to have you all. We have preparations of our own to make, so how does departing tomorrow afternoon suit everyone? If nothing else, we need to make our way to the nearest spirit shrine. Right, let's go with that. I'll see everyone tomorrow in Crossbell. And there we go. Natürlich treffen wir uns in Lake Elm Badlands. Reinstrad Act for the 0th hour. Very nice this place. Yeah, the wetlands southeast of Crossbell City. This is also where Leanne breathed the last half a year ago. Thought it would be a safe place to arrive given its distance from the city. Think that was an appropriate decision. Thanks for the help, Celine, inside. Think nothing of it, I didn't do much. I was happy to help.
そんなに経ってないはずなのに、どうしてこんなに懐かしいのかな。
言うな。大丈夫。きっと君の家族も無事でいるはずだ。
ええ、微力ながら私も力添えをさせていただきます。
Ah, Claire ist auch mitgekommen.
クレア教官も。
Claire war die ganze Zeit bei dem ganzen Talk nicht dabei, aber okay, sie ist einfach da.
今は信じて前に進むしかないよね。
I'm surprised you were able to make it, Major. Finding and taking care of all the Supreme Leader sympathizers in the army didn't sound like it would be an easy job. Matthew Spender graciously agreed to take over the reins of the task. General Van Dyke, Sex Vander, and Greg are also taking direct roles in the effort. If the domestic situation came with hands, I thought it best to focus on exercising the problem at the root. And on a personal level, I want to know what Rufus is trying to achieve. It's regretful that we are still none the wiser on that front. The real Rufus said something about meeting next in Crossbell, didn't he? He did. I'm sure we'll be meeting both the rear and replicas soon enough.
リン、体は大丈夫？
His aim must have put you through it, huh? I'm not planning on pulling off anything like that again, so no reason for my family to get worked up.
分かってるならいい。
Ich bin schon, wie es als Familie bezeichnet wird.
リンに何かあったら、ゼノとレオも心配する。それは覚えておいて。
Oh yeah, this is the romance option talk. I don't know how they factor into this, but good to know.
効果てきめんだね。
I don't care what you do, so long as you come back with some good samples for my research. Even the society isn't capable of making those devices or humanoid weapons. Just hurry up and get my materials back. You must really be frustrated by the absence to have agreed to come with us, Professor. At least we don't need to worry about any tech issues if you're around. So what are you all planning on doing next? Nothing else, I want to further investigate the spirit veins. I think we just need to start by getting a solid grasp of the situation here. Our final goal is to apprehend the Supreme Leader and liberate Crossbell, but we need to proceed with caution. Right, we don't know what's lurking behind him and what the Evan Defense Force is up to. You just have to play it by ear for now. Especially since we still can't use the round of 7. If you screw up, we can't exactly reach out for backup. That's very true. It's a risk to not be able to communicate freely.
となると、やっぱ顔を出して正解だったかね。
Was that Lecter?
お前さんたち元気にしてたか？ノルドじゃいろいろあったみたいだが。
What are you? Always one step ahead, Scarecrow. And how do you even know you're here? Don't even try to say it was a hunch. He's a person from whom I wouldn't rule that out. Just because you can't communicate with the outside doesn't mean there's no other way to find out what's going on. A guy could steal a transceiver from the Evan Defense Force, for example. Oh, cunning. I imagine it proved more difficult than you make it sound. Apart from that, I just know you guys. I figured you just used that little hack of yours for getting around. Paired it with all the other intel figured you had, and boom. The fact I came to Crossbell right before the ceremony was all instinct though. I just figured something would happen. That intuition of yours really is sharp. Who are you to talk about hacks and shit? This acumen is impressive indeed. Hey, but if you've been in Crossbell this whole time... Yep, we've got notes to compare, shall we? We would appreciate that. So glad Elisa, Marcus, and Toa are alright. Yeah, Lloyd and the others too. Can't say I've seen every one of them with my own eyes, but they're a tough bunch. I'm sure they're also playing their parts. It sounds as though the Evan Defense Force are even more of a, well, force to be reckoned with than we feared. Yeah, we don't want to come up against those new Zaubers alerts. We don't have any darts of our own, so we want to avoid a head-on conflict. Especially if there's so many of them. Just how long have they been preparing for this? Ain't that the question? Personally, I'm more concerned about where all those weapons that vanished from Lord ended up. And in the impression that they had been sent to Crossbell. But I say that doesn't match up with what you have learned. Sure doesn't. Besides, where would you even hide that much stuff in a small place like Crossbell? It's true. Active camouflage alone can only get you so far. Saying the Evan Defense Force never brought them up in all your time spying, that does suggest they really aren't here. Well, the only way to be sure is to check for ourselves. Either way, you know where the Evan Defense Force is positioned now at least. The only place I've confirmed they have a presence around here are Michelin and a small number of the roads. I leave it up to you guys how to use that intel I've given you. Thanks for sharing it with us, it will be really helpful. I think our best course is to begin by splitting up into groups and gathering information. I'd like to start by learning more about the situation at Michelin, St. Ursula, and in your city. Brilliant approach. Split up into groups then. Each group will be responsible for an investigation investigating the Michelin area. Select which one will accompany him. You can choose one of 3 students. Ich kann nur einen von den Students picken. Also okay, Juna ist gesetzt. The answer is clear. Ich glaube, ein Pick ist halt obvious, ne? Oh, stimmt. Man konnte Extras nutzen. Das, was Extras bringt, das ist eine Mechanik, die man über die Reverie Corridor freischaltet. Diese Extra-Slots. Das ist halt einfach, dass man deren Remote-Orders nutzen kann. Und jetzt ist halt die Frage, was wäre die perfekte, was sind so die perfekten Remote-Orders? Puh. Viel Gas ist eigentlich schon nice to have. Können wir den Dark Requiem haben, wäre halt schon sehr nice to have, to be honest. Das ist eigentlich auch nice. Inside and Critical. Warum ist es eine 20% Chance für Magic Attack Absorption? Und trotzdem das extra Cost. Na gut, CP plus 80% ist schon geil, ja. I mean, okay. Alter. 8 EP Cost. Willst du mich verarschen? Wir nehmen Cherub Smile mit und Crimson Peachant. Stimmt, ich habe noch keine Lore Introduction gehabt oder eine Fee Introduction, was sehr interessant ist. Guess this is our team then? I've been to Michelin since the send-off party 7 months ago. We all owe a great deal to Jonas' father for his help at the time, so I do hope he's in good health. I really hope we can make sure of that while we're there. Sure we can learn something. I was stressed too much. Yeah, we find out what's going on.
もう無茶はさせぬぞ。私がそばにいる限りはな。この半年、そのために強くなったようなものだ。よもや頼れぬとは言わぬな。
I'm sorry for worrying you, Laura. I was sure to count on you, battle or no battle.
それでよい。
Right, we make our way to St. Ursula then. Sounds like the defense force aren't standing guard there, but be careful all the same. Should we find anything? Inform us promptly. We make our way toward the city. I'm hoping we can find some way to get inside of it. Should we find any elements of resistance, we love our support. We're counting on you. Let's do this thing, people. Har ni intressanta gåvor av you? You shall accompany them part of the way. Yeah, that's brilliant. I want to investigate in that direction. Oh, and speaking of Michelin, there are distortions in the spirit rains over in that region too. Be careful. Really? Thanks for telling us. I'll be counting on you too, Celine. I know. If anything happens, I'll be sure to put the kibosh on it. Thanks, and sorry, I hate to be such a source of worry for everyone. If anything, like what happened to you is likely to be our biggest clue going forward, you needn't apologize. Fear not, we shall keep watch over him. Yeah, you won't let him do himself any harm. Yeah, you'd hardly believe he is the instructor here. Sucks to be popular, huh? There's clearly still a lot that we have to learn, but I'm sure we can find some way out of this if we work together. So let's make for Michelin. I'm counting on you all. Alright.
湿地帯か。どうしても聖女のことを思い出しちまうな。ああ、本当に。 いろいろと世話になったからな。
あのね、湿地帯だからって湿っぽくなってる暇はないわよ。
うん、その通りだ。ミシュラムに急ごう。
Ich muss schon sagen, ich finde es schade, dass die Lanze und der Helm mittlerweile nicht mehr hier sind. Weil Kanal ist ja auch immer noch an Löwes Grab, aber im Falle von Leon, Tombstone. Which was built to honor the late Lance Maiden. It's like it is the work of the Eisenritter. Their flowers too, even if they were left by who I think they were. I'd be surprised, not saying if we're gonna run into them during this though. You might not want to be quite so trusting of that lot. Anyway, let's get moving. We don't have the time to be dawdling here. Yeah, she is right.